Hello, everyone. So today we're going to be talking about the cell membrane. So the cell membrane, remember, is in both plant and animal cells. So here is the cell membrane, and it goes all the way around the cell. For the plant cell, and this purple thing, that is the cell membrane of the animal cell. All right, so they both have a cell membrane. Oops. All right. So in your head, I want you to think about this. Which one of these would you use to drain spaghetti? Why? So just think about this in your brain. Which one would you use to drain spaghetti? Hopefully, you said this one. So when we let's say we have spaghetti, and we're going to put the spaghetti into this bowl. The water is going to come out, but the spaghetti is going to stay here. If we put the spaghetti into this one, the spaghetti is going to come out, and so is the water. All right, that's not what we want. We want the spaghetti to stay put and allow the water to pass through. And the reason why the spaghetti stays put here is because those holes are smaller. These have bigger holes, which means the spaghetti can drop through. This is very similar to how our cell membranes work. Our cell membranes have little holes in them that let some things through, but keep other things inside or outside. So there are three main jobs of the cell. So just a quick reminder, function is the sciencey word for job. So there are three main functions or jobs of the cell membrane. All right, and we're going to go over all three of them. So the first function, it separates the inside from the outside. Pretty simple. We have the outside of the cell here, the outside of the cell here, and the inside of the cell here. And what separates the two of them is the cell membrane. So that is the first function. The second function is to recognize chemical signals. So this helps cells recognize each other. So let's say you have two cells and they can actually talk to each other. They can be like, hey, what up? I'm a skin cell. And the other cell can be like, hey, what up? I'm a sensory cell. It also helps cells recognize certain substances. For example, sugar. So this right here, this is sugar. And it's going to bump into the outside of the cell and it's going to say, hi, I'm sugar. Can I come in? And who doesn't want sugar to come in? And the way it does this is through these things called cell receptors and antigens. So this is what the cell membrane looks like. Looks a little weird. But these things right here, these are the antigens. This is a cell receptor, and this is a signal molecule. All right, so these things, these antigens, that's how they're like, hey, I'm a skin cell, I'm cool. And then this is how, so this would be like glucose or sugar, and this would be a cell receptor. The sugar is going to attach and be like, hey, I'm sugar, can I come in? And the cell is either going to say yes or no. The third function is to control what molecules enter and leave the cell. So small things can freely pass through the membrane, whereas larger things aren't going to be able to pass through at all. So in this example, we have this is the outside of the cell here, and this is inside of the cell. And you can see these small blue ones, they're moving right through the cell membrane because they're small. These big triangles, however, they can't move through the cell membrane because they're too big. So that is the third function. All right, and what controls this is what's called the phospholipids. So this chunk right here, this is called the phospholipid bilayer. And this is what a majority of our cell membrane is made up of. And it's called a phospholipid because these little circle guys, these are the phosphorus head. And the little squigglies, that is the lipid tail. Woo, lipid. Small things, remember, small things like oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, they're going to be able to pass right through. But big things like sugar, so remember this right here is sugar, it's not going to be able to pass through because it's too big. So there's spaces here in between these phospholipids that allow small things to move through, but don't allow big things. There are these crazy things, though, called channel proteins that let the big molecules pass through the membrane. So, for example, here, these big ones, they can't get through the phospholipid, so they come through this channel in your cell membrane. It's crazy. Cells are crazy. So these are called channel proteins. And on our next picture, so this right here is the channel protein. And it's going to let large molecules through that wouldn't be able to just pass through the lipid layer. So this is not able to just come through here. So it's going to come through the channel protein. All right, so now I want you to read about the cell membrane, take some notes, and label the parts of the cell membrane. So I'm going to show you exactly what I want you to do. This is the assignment, the Google Slides assignment right under this video. Let me show you 1 second. All right, so here is your homework. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on either one of these readings. If you want to read it in English, you're going to click here and it's going to take you to a reading. If you want to read it in Spanish, you'll click here and it'll take you to the same reading in Spanish. Then you're going to come here and you're going to label the cell parts. And you're just going to drag and drop each box into where you think it's supposed to go. Use the reading to help you do this. Then you're going to come back and you're going to describe the function of each part of the cell membrane. And again, use the reading to help you do this. We will go over this at some point tomorrow. Sorry this is late. Had some technical difficulties. If you have questions, email me and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.